Resolution number 2015-42, a resolution declaring the necessity of assessing the expense of garbage and rubbish collection and disposal within the City of Maple Heights and certifying to the county auditor the costs due to the City of Maple Heights for garbage and rubbish collection and declaring an emergency.
This resolution is also on its third reading. May I have a motion for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Councilman Brownlee?
The amounts that are included here in our resolution are the ones that we have been assessing for a few years now, $15 and $7.50 per month. With the new calculation being only $11.79 and $5.90, I suggest that we amend this resolution to reflect that change. So we would change $15 to $11.79 and $7.50 to the amount of $5.90.
Is there a second to this amendment? Hearing none, I call the roll for adoption, please.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
No.
Trojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Passed by the vote 5-1. Resolution number 2015-47, an ordinance to amend Chapter 1226 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Maple Heights entitled Land Reutilization by adding Section 1226.02, Disposition of Unimproved Residential Lots, and declaring an emergency.
May I have a motion to suspend the rules and place this resolution on its third and final reading?
So moved.
Second. Is there any discussion? Call the roll to suspend, please.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Trojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes. May I have a motion for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Call the roll for adoption, please.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Trojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Passed by a vote 6-0. Resolution number 2015-55, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the City of Warrensville Heights for prisoner housing services in the City of Maple Heights and declaring an emergency.
May I have a motion to suspend the rules and place this resolution on its third and final reading?
So moved.
Second. Is there any discussion? Call the roll to suspend, please.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Trojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes. May I have a motion for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call the roll for adoption.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Trojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Passed by the vote 6-1. Resolution number 2015-56, an ordinance authorizing the collective bargaining agreement with the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers Auto Mechanics Local 1363 AFL-CIO Union and the City of Maple Heights and declaring an emergency.
May I have a motion to suspend the rules and place this resolution on its third and final reading?
So moved.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion, please? Call the roll to suspend.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
No.
Trojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes. May I have a motion for adoption, please?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Aren't 6 votes required to suspend the rules? I'm curious.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at it. It looks like a check, and it isn't.
No, it's only 6 people.
Okay.
Is there a reason why we're not doing this?
We have a no vote, and not enough votes to pass the suspension, so this will be on first reading. I have no answer to why.
Nothing's gonna change.
Move on.
Resolution number 2015-57, an ordinance authorizing the collective bargaining agreement with the International Brotherhood of Teamsters Local 507 Union and the City of Maple Heights and declaring an emergency.
This ordinance is on its first reading. May I have a motion to suspend the rules and place this resolution on its third and final reading?
So moved.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll to suspend, please.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
No.
Jojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
No fail by 9 of the 6 votes.
And once again, we cannot suspend the rules, so this has to be on a first reading, and the union contracts will be suspended.
Resolution number 2015-58, a resolution honoring the life and legacy of the Honorable United States Congressman Louis Stokes in the City of Maple Heights, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
May I have a motion to suspend the rules and place this resolution on its third and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll to suspend, please.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Jojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
May I have a motion for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll for adoption, please.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Jojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Passed by the vote of 6 to 0. Resolution number 2015-59, a resolution declaring September 11th, 2015 as Patriot Day in the City of Maple Heights, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
May I have a motion to suspend the rules and place this resolution on its third and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll to suspend, please.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Jojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
May I have a motion for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll for adoption, please.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Jojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Passed by the vote 6 to 0. Resolution number 2015-60, a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the County Fiscal Officer.
May I have a motion to suspend the rules and place this resolution on its third and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll to suspend, please.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Jojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
May I have a motion for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Jojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Passed by a vote of 6 to 0.
Would you turn to your expenditures over $1,000? That would be 2015-55-365. Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns here? May I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Adams. Oh, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Jojansky.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Pass. Mayor's report, please.
Thank you, Madam President. This evening, we all heard comments about the state or condition of the city, which were all very negative. Now, why is that? because the city doesn't have enough money to take care of these kind of issues. Inspectors, building department, yes, we do have one, a building department, but it is very depleted. Do we have a lot of these houses that you have been talking about this evening already cited? Yes. We do. Have they been cited for high grass? More than likely, yes. Are they repeat violators? More than likely, yes. We have cutters that do go out and cut the grass on vacant homes. Sometimes the homes are occupied and we still cut the grass. Sometimes that's under the watchful eye of a police officer. But the reality is that we don't have enough inspectors or secretaries to cover a city that is 5.5 square miles and has 12,500 homes, apartments, and condos. We have lost a lot of money over the last few years. A lot of money from the state, a lot of money from the county. And I would imagine everyone saw the news yesterday. If you didn't, you saw it today, where the property values in Maple Heights have again gone down 8.5%. And why is that? If you're not familiar with the formula that they use, I will explain it in very easy terms. The county looks at what a house sells for in Maple Heights, all of the houses. Now, some houses may sell for $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. The majority of the houses sell for $10,000, $7,000, $12,000. Very, very low amounts, the majority. And why is that? Because they're empty. They're foreclosed, bank-owned. They're empty. Nobody wants them. And they've been worked over pretty good. As you heard this evening, broken windows, doors hanging, plywood on the windows, plumbing missing. Those are the houses that usually end up on the demolition list. However, so-called investors sometimes come in and they buy these houses for $7,000, $8,000, $12,000. The majority of those houses are what the county looks at. So when they average, they take all of those houses and all the houses that might sell for 30, 40, 50 grand. And their average is a low number because there's more houses that are selling for $10,000 than there are houses selling for $60,000 or $70,000. Now, we have met with the county. We have implored them to look at when a house is bought for, say, $7 grand, there may be $40,000 in escrow money placed because that house has to be brought up to code. So don't look at the 8,000, look at the 40, which makes it 48. They refuse to acknowledge that fact. They only look at what the house sells for. And that's a huge difference, huge. We can't get them to accept the fact that there's a lot of money in escrow, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, that would raise the value of that house once it's finished and completed. So now all of our homes, whether we like it or not, and a lot of us in here are homeowners, our value is going to drop 8.5%. And there's nothing we can do about it. Which means next year, there'll be less money coming to this city. Less. The city of Garfield Heights, they went down 13.5%. Bedford was down 4.5%. Berea, Brook Park were down, South Euclid, any inner ring suburb of Cleveland went down in value. Why is that? More than likely the same problem. Anyone want to look at it? It's on cleveland.com. You can see for yourself, there's a map with all the cities, with all the color-coded areas, and the percentages of what we have lost or will lose. So how do you make up money like that? Because we're not mismanaging money. You may hear that on the street, you may hear that from your neighbors or people that are running for office or campaigning for somebody who's running for office. There's no money to mismanage. We're living within our means, which is what everyone wanted us to do. And that's the responsible thing to do. So the cuts that have been made and the people that have been laid off and the people that have quit, like you heard the chief said he lost 13 police officers in 13 months, which is unprecedented. Employees here haven't gotten pay raises in 7 years. There's no mismanagement there. So how do you make up that money? Now, we had a really good idea, which didn't affect the residents, didn't affect the taxpayers, and that was to have traffic cameras here. Now, you heard about the lady who was killed. There were traffic cameras at that intersection. Would they have slowed down that car at that time of the morning? It's possible. It's possible the driver would have known there were cameras there because there were signs up that notified you there were traffic cameras ahead. Somebody's life might have been saved. Also, those cameras brought in a lot of revenue, which didn't cost really any of us here this evening any of our revenue. Because 94% of the citations or tickets that were issued were to people that didn't live in Maple Heights. So it wouldn't have raised your taxes. It would have made up a lot of money that we lost, so we could have hired building inspectors. We could have had paint on the streets. We could have striped them. We could have done a lot of things, had the pool open, had people working in the parks. We had a source of revenue that didn't cost the residents 94% anything. But the people didn't want it. And now tonight, council doesn't want them either. So what's the answer? Who's the genius in the room that's going to tell us what the answer is, whether it's up here or over there? Who's going to tell us how to raise revenue? Because you don't want taxes, you don't want property taxes, you don't want income taxes, and you don't want the cameras either. So how are you going to make up all this money that the state took from us, which is over $1 million? How are you going to make up the county money, which is now going to be probably over $3 million? How do you make up that kind of cash? Because we have the incredible shrinking government over here. You're going to get less and less people and less service because there is no money, or there is very little money. Very little money. So, anyone got any ideas?
Yeah, I do. You know, it's so easy for you people to sit there and put the blame on everybody, okay?
This isn't blame, these are facts. These are facts.
You did nothing to promote the middle class staying here. How many years ago Maple Heights was self-sufficient? We never had these kind of problems. Then all of a sudden, boom, it didn't happen overnight, sir. You're talking about cameras. Okay, how many tickets were handed out? Not Maple Heights residents, but who voted to put the cameras in or take them out? The Maple Heights residents. Why didn't you come up with, well, if you're a Maple Heights resident, and say it, to pass the levy, if you get stopped, we'll give you a warning. Oh my God, heaven forbid. Would a policeman ever give a warning anymore? No, whack, 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 we're all the same, give them a ticket. that would have passed your cameras, I'm sure.
So you think it's okay to let someone not get a ticket and someone
It's
to
not,
get a
if
ticket?
it's within
So isn't
reason,
that
I'm not
discrimination?
talking 60 miles an hour. I'm talking, there's a lot of people that instead of doing 25, they'll do 35, 38.
They didn't get a
Okay.
ticket if they were doing 25.
If they were doing 35, 38, they got it
Sure they
with
did.
the cameras.
Yeah.
Would it have been so hard to say to pass the levy? If you're a Maple Heights resident, we'll give you a warning the first time.
You think
If it's
that's
within
legal?
reason.
You think that's legal?
I'm asking. I
No, it's
don't
not
know.
legal, it's
I don't
illegal.
know.
It's illegal.
And you promote nothing to bring in businesses, to bring in nothing. Does
Well,
anybody?
here's the reality of business,
Don't
okay?
blame all of us.
No
It's
one's
your
blaming
duty.
anyone here, these are
Yes,
facts.
you are.
No, we're not, Mr. Brownlee. This is not a blame game or pass the
No,
buck,
it
these are
isn't.
facts,
Don't say, well, what do you
okay?
do?
These are facts, okay?
Right,
It's
you
not,
have your facts all wrong because you people
Excuse
have
me,
done it for
excuse
years.
me, you've had your turn at the podium. If you'd like to
Yes.
continue this.
Yes,
Yes, you did.
okay, and I'm responding to your comments.
Right.
I'm responding to your comments, okay? As far as promoting the middle class, and you also made a comment, doesn't anyone work here anymore?
Right.
Of course people work here.
How many? What's your percent on
The
that one?
percentage is 48%, and this comes from the county. Okay, 48%
Which appraise
of,
our houses and are wrong too.
right, okay, so 48%, again, no blame game here, are living below the national poverty level. In Maple Heights, Bedford, Garfield Heights, Bedford Heights, all these inner ring suburbs, it's 48%. So that means that 52% are carrying the 48%, if you go by that formula.
And how did we get there, sir?
How did we get there? Gee, I don't know. The people who didn't want to live here moved, or they died, and well, they moved or they died, and their families sold their houses, and then other people bought them and moved in. Now, investors buy houses, and they rent those houses. That's why it's hard to get someone to buy a house, because you know what everybody else knows. That when you look at a city that has a lot of renters, and you want to buy a house, you're probably not going to buy a house there. You're going to go somewhere else where there's homeowners.
Is there any incentive to give people something to want to move to Maple Heights? We have all brand new schools.
That's a big incentive, yes. But what you end up getting are the renters with families that want to go to the schools. It's a rental market. Every inner ring suburb is being taken over by renters. Okay, that the middle class, as we all are, because we all work, or most of us, some of us are retired. That's the middle class. That's the incredible shrinking middle class. And that's all across America. You know, there's going to be a high class and a low class. There's going to be a middle class anymore. You know, that was taken care of when NAFTA, when over 7 million jobs went overseas to China and Japan and Thailand and Taiwan. Everything you buy or you pick up is made somewhere else. It's not made in America, because all the factories closed, all the warehouses. Go through Walton Hills, you see a Ford plant closed. Twinsburg had the Chrysler plant, tore it down. Where'd all the jobs go?
Oh, they're getting
Mexico.
Them back. They're getting them back.
They're getting them back. Walton Hills isn't getting anything back in the Ford plant.
Well, yes, they are.
What are they getting, a water park?
That will bring in a lot of money for that city.
And it's not gonna happen.
No, you may say not. Look
It
at-
would've happened
look at
already.
Bainbridge, they're
It would've happened, Bainbridge?
No, Miger's store, or Bainbridge is getting where Jogga Lake used to be. Everybody's like.
That's another county, and they're not an inner ring suburb of Cleveland. And businesses look at average median incomes. Do you know what that is? I'm asking you, do you know what that
No.
is? Okay, well, they have statistics that they look at for what's the average median income in a city like Maple Heights. It's around $35,000. The same thing in Garfield Heights, the same thing in Bedford. City View in Garfield Heights, Giant Eagle's like the only store there. Why? Because the businesses will not move in there because they know there's not money in the surrounding areas, that people are going to patronize them and they're gonna make money,
No,
so
that
they
was a
stay away.
That was a landfill.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's a landfill. On the other side, where it isn't a landfill, is the same problem. All the businesses walked
I
away.
disagree with you. Maple Heights does not.
Meadowbrook's the same way. They tore down Target, they tore down Tops, everything's gone. Why? Because the average median income in Bedford is the same as it is in Maple Heights. And the businesses are not gonna go in there. Go down Turney Road in Garfield Heights, you'll see the same thing. It's vacant after vacant after vacant. Why? What do we get? We get a new McDonald's. Garfield gets a Dunkin' Donuts, brand new. You know what Beechwood gets? Eaton Corporation.
But take responsibility.
We are taking responsibility. These are facts. These are facts. We cannot survive.
This is supposed to be mayor's report, it's not supposed to be.
Well, you know, I'm trying to extend a courtesy to a resident.
Please, Mayor,
All right.
encourage.
We have lost a lot of money. We need to make that money up. And there's not many ways to make it up except to go back to the ballot and ask everyone for more money. And if you say no, you say no. And that's your right. It was the same thing with the cameras. You didn't want them, so they went away. But there has to be a way to raise revenue to get the city back on track so it can compete with other cities. Because the revenue just isn't there. Thank you for your time.